So finally, we've made our way back to Tikamoon Plains here in Way the Hunter. It's been almost a week already, but we're finally back, and there is a particular area of the map that I want to try to explore a little bit more in depth today. Basically, starting at the main cabin down here, and moving north up to the lake on the east side. You can see we've been through it, we have a bunch of zones, but it was pretty fast. I'm sure we spooked a bunch of stuff, and I want to go through today with more of a fine-tooth comb. So we're going to make our way up through there, and we've left the bow back in the storage locker today, just so rather than taking time to call stuff in, we can cover as much ground as possible. And not a bad way to start. We've got a bunch of springbuck out here, including a 1-star mature and a 2-star mature. And I think these are maybe the same ones that we saw like in our first hunt ever. And it also does kind of give me the opportunity to explain. Those of you that watched the release day stream at the very end, we found a 4-star springbuck, and I was really hoping he might get to 5. Unfortunately, he ended up dying of old age, so still looking for a 5-star springbuck. And every one of those 1-stars we can take out will help us on our journey to find one. And I mean, it's things like that. I don't know if this is a herd of springbuck that we've seen, but definitely with like the 1-star mature and stuff, there's not been many encounters with them as we've been hunting some of these other areas. Also, that shot was almost too far forward. We're lucky we got some cavity damage. The 270 has some solid power, and these guys are a tier 4. So, using a tier 5 weapon kind of explains why a subpar shot brought him down quickly, but that could have been a lot worse. Also, speaking of things I really want to get a 5-star of, black wildebeest are really high on that list, and we found a couple of good ones on the map. I do have to say that 1-star adult actually looks solid. So what we may do is kind of walk at these guys, try to get their attention, and just headshot this one because he looks smaller to me. And it could be that he's a slightly younger adult, but I think maybe that's going to work. There's just no angle to actually get a lung shot. Yeah, that's gotta be lower genetics the way that looks. The females are way bigger, which most are, kind of like the Gemsbuck, and actually even like, say, the caribou over on Aurora Shores. Some of the females do just look big compared to younger males. Got a Cape Buffalo out there, so maybe we'll take this slow, but hopefully at least that was the right decision. And with the buffalo still over there making noise, we will quickly find out. So, managed to hit the skull, didn't quite get the brain, but that was a 34%. It looked notably smaller, and that's one thing I've kind of actually struggled with so far. Like, identifying a larger black wildebeest versus a smaller one, that was notable, so hopefully that's progress. Now that's a little bit more like what we're after, a 4-star black wildebeest, and they live to be like 20 years old. Now, he doesn't look terribly gray, and we're just like at the south end of this lake. I've even got a couple of zones here, but I don't think either of those is this herd. So obviously we can't shoot that. We'll probably still do high fitness calls, and just, we're trying to get them out of there, because we can't spot anything. They're all back in the brush, but we'll make sure there's nothing else back there, and then maybe swap to low fitness and try to get something kind of subpar out of there. Wait, there's 2 4-star matures. One of those has to have a chance. We've gotten to the low fitness call, so they're kind of just trotting around now. I really hope one of those makes it. Maybe both will. Again, they get so old. It could very well happen, but I think both of these adults are going to be low fitness, so we'll try to get maybe both, but definitely going to try to go for one. And if somehow, for some reason, they hang around, we'll go for a second shot, but try to get the shot in the chest. And I don't think we're going to mess around and go for that. I'm pretty sure we got him good. I haven't shot a black wildebeest with the 270, but I think we hard shot him. And the only thing is, we do need to try to find their zone, because I'm not convinced those herds that we have on the map are the same ones. That was a hard shot. Full damage with the 270 as well at 107 yards. Not too bad. It still hit with pretty low energy. It ended up all the way through the heart. 18%. That doesn't give me a ton of confidence for those 4-stars, but like I said, I didn't think really either one of them were terribly great. So there are some Kudu drink zones here. We'll kind of wander around a little bit, try to make sure we get their zone, or, I mean, I guess worst case, it could be a rarely zone for one of these. Now I think we got it. Is it a separate herd of them, though? Oh, we did have their zone already, but this is the often zone. That's exactly why I wanted to go through here more slowly. Like I said, we went fast last time. We picked up zones. I don't even think it was on like stream or recorded. It was just in an attempt to explore the map. And no doubt, those wildebeests were not ones that we've ever seen, because that's something we're going to be coming back to day after day. I really want to make sure if they get to 5-star, we don't let them get away. So it's looking like what we've effectively done by moving up to this area in the east is a bunch of black wildebeest management, because we've now found the 2 4-stars. This is another 1-star adult that we're going to end up taking for low fitness. And I guess, you know, the good news is there's decent potential for 5 stars down south of us, but I thought we'd see a lot more like warthogs and stuff like that. I do think for the second time in a row we managed to get a hard shot with the 270, and by the way, that seemed to be the only one that responded to a low fitness caller. There's a 2-star mature in there and stuff like that, but we always want to try to take the lowest fitness one as possible, and if he's the only one that's sub 50%, pretty easy to make that determination. So let's grab that. We have a little bit further to go up here, and then we'll move on to some other areas. But yeah, hard shot again, 139 yards this time, and a 48%. So I guess kind of a positive the rest of those are above 50. But what I want to do is move through here, and of course there's another black wildebeest zone up there. But this is a little bit of unexplored territory, these couple of ponds. We'll pass through there and then maybe jump around the map a little. And right on cue, we finally find a warthog, and it's a 1-star mature, so we will go ahead and take that out. I want to say when we explored this area, there were a couple of like kind of encouraging warthogs, 3-star matures and stuff like that. And we probably should have used the 300. Just as we pulled the trigger, I remembered they are absurdly tough. It's going to get them, but we might track them for a mile. Not that bad. 240 yards. I mean, we've tracked them actually further with the shot from the 300, but this is the oldest one we've ever shot for sure. Super, super gray compared to every other warthog we've taken. Double long shot at 190, 27%, but even at that, he probably has, at least on that side, the best tusk we've seen. We just really haven't shot any decent warthogs, so taking ones out like that definitely will help and hopefully get us to the point where we can find some good ones. But we're pretty well all the way through here, and we have found a ton of zones. Like, we've really filled this area in nicely as far as all the zones that are around here. We'll still make our way to the west to that marker, but it seems like there's plenty of animals around. Just getting here at the right time is really important. And actually, that might be the 3-star mature warthog I was talking about. So good to know that's still around. There's a 2-star adult in there too. And then there's, on this side, yet another 1-star mature, which actually looks even smaller than the one that we just got. So what we're going to do is try to brain shot this one if we can, just so we don't have to track it, because there's a bunch of stuff around. These wildebeests are going to spook, but there are other things across the way here that I want to try to spot. Like, there's a whole other herd of black wildebeest that are just kind of getting into spotting distance now. Really hope these ones running through don't... Oh, there we go. 3-star adult. Like, that's the kind of stuff we need to know about. So, I guess, till we're absolutely certain these ones aren't going to spook them, just quickly scan through. But we'll head over there and get a closer look after we grab this warthog. And again, super low genetics, super gray in color, and way smaller tusks. That time we actually hit the brain, which is always nice. 23%, so that is lower than the last by just a bit. It's interesting they always seem to have the same level of like unevenness. The right side has that hook, the left side is just a kind of flat, much smaller tusk. But anyway, let's sell that. Gonna scoot a little closer to the wildebeest, and yet again it's kind of seeming like our whole adventure up here has been finding potential future trophy black wildebeest. So naturally, we just get here and they kind of walk into the brush, but I'm just gonna leave a marker there. We'll try to get their zone, and I was considering maybe taking one of the 1-stars in there, but there are a bunch of springbuck over here, and we do have a 1-star adult for them. I feel like our black wildebeest genetics are solid. Our springbuck don't seem to be as good, so he's actually facing us now. Gonna try to drop this shot in there, and it looks like we absolutely smoked him. There's a ton of blood there, and he's already stumbling, so not bad. Again, 270 is a little overpowered for springbuck. You know what? Not sure why they didn't take off. That's really close for them to hang around. Just pick a 1-star adult here quickly while they're broadside. This could be a bad decision, for sure. But if he'll just step out of there, I want to make sure we don't end up killing the 3-star. It's this one. You know what? headshots will work in this case. And it turns out, by the way, the zone that we initially looked at was this zone. I guess maybe just picked it up through here and didn't know there was a 3-star adult. So this could have been a bad move. 74%, probably shouldn't have shot that. I guess in theory, if that 3-star adult's 90 plus, it could still be decent, but maybe should have held off and just taken our springbuck. And I suppose it's possible with our springbuck, that could have been a not great decision as well. Looks fairly small for a adult, but it is even. 52%, so that one was a better decision. A lot of times I do find on Tikamoon Plains, 1-star adults are okay to take, because things do get so high in star rating in that adult period, and it's typically a short adult life cycle, but the wildebeest probably had just hit adult and was only a 1-star. Had he been a year older, probably he already hits 2, but we finally made it through here, got a lot of new zones, and I do want to go and check on some of the other animals that we've been trying to keep an eye on. For instance, there were a couple of kudu, I think it's these 2 herds right here. There was a 4-star there that I want to go and take a peek at. On our way over there, there was another 4-star we've been watching, and finally, he actually ended up aging. I'll be honest, I thought this guy was going to die. This was the 4-star kudu that we chased around, actually took the UTV up through like the northern part of Tikamoon Plains, looking for a zone and found his rarely used drink zone. And if I'm not mistaken, he's actually leaving it right now. So we got one with the bow already. I think we'll try to take him with the 300. And I was hoping to maybe punch through there and get the heart and drop him, but it looks like we may have still. We got him really good. And hopefully going up in those rocks, maybe we can get a decent photo. I think there's a real chance he lands on something and ends up somehow kind of propped up. And man, he almost did. If he was like 2 steps less, I think that might have worked. This might actually be what I came up here for. The real reason I was passing through here was looking for a herd of Cape buffalo, and I was actually specifically looking for the herd that we got really our first 5-star from, the one that we shot with a gun. I don't see like a potential 4-star in there. Now he could have died, that might be it. I think it is, that looks pretty good. So wherever they end up, we're gonna go and look at that. But I had to figure they were drinking up in this area as well. And just so happens, we passed by our kudu here, which I don't even think we're gonna take a photo of the way he landed. But that'll be our second one. We just were a touch high to really get the heart. Got some cavity damage, so it explains why he went down so quickly. 91% for him. Not bad then. He was a total score of 477, which is only 5 above the requirement for 5-star. We will absolutely take that. There's a couple other promising ones on the map. And of course, we got our first one of 488 down there on public land. So this private land is no joke. There are a bunch of 5-stars up here. But that's going to be 2 of the 3 we need for the multi-mount. And honestly, we might have something there for the Cape Buffalo yet too. So from a successful aging of a 4-star kudu to a 5-star, to seemingly a missing 4-star kudu, I'm not really sure where that one is. Like, I want to get a little closer and check on these. Maybe that's a 4-star and it just doesn't look it. But we do have a 2-star mature here. I want to be careful. That actually is going to work. The one behind him bit it down, so we weren't going to get a pass through and end up somehow killing him as well. Looks like a good solid hit. And now that those have run off that way, we can scoot in here, but I don't see anything that looks even close to 4-star in there. And despite the fact that they are alerted 300 yards away, I'd say pretty definitively, either we're just looking at the wrong kudu, or he's died of old age. He was a 3-star adult, but we do know with, kudu only getting to 8 years old and requiring 472 to make 5-star, it's very possible that he could have just not made it. But I didn't think enough aging should have happened. I thought at worst he should be a 4-star again. So we'll explore a little bit, but good to know at least. It seems like we've had one die and in the process managed to take out a couple of subpar males. And I will say, I was a little less than confident with this one that we did shoot the 2-star, but it looks right. 59% 2-star mature indeed. And then the other one, which I think we have marked, we somehow shot like through the neck, I believe. And frankly, because there were 2 herds of kudu here, I don't think it's possible that we were just looking at the wrong ones and maybe he's in a rarely zone. This guy was 56%, so both of those were good to take out. And I do just think that other 4-star has died of old age, but since we can be fairly confident that aging has occurred, I do want to kind of buzz around up here and check on some other stuff. Pretty sure those are the same ones that we just saw, so let's see what else we can find. Well, this is interesting. Somewhere in this area should be the Pride Alliance with our once 3-star adult, now 4-star mature. And I don't think he should be anywhere near his peak age, but at the same time, I want to make absolutely certain that was the one that we had the really cool photos of. But instead, we just have a singular 2-star mature walking around out here. Now, we are at the wrong time for the zone. There is a rest zone. I think we got to get that pride there right here. And we're actually in their feed time, so maybe they're just somewhere else, but I'm not sure what that one's doing here. Oh, actually, I bet that's them right there. They're pretty far away, but it's actually the direction we gotta go. The only thing is, I'm not seeing a mature lion in here anywhere. I still wouldn't be shocked if this is the right pride, because a couple of 2-star adults, pretty decent genetics. Maybe he's just down over the hill. This guy was a 46%, so regardless, that's gonna benefit the overall genetic pool for lions. I just don't know, like, I guess we can try to loop all the way up around them, because if we go up this way, we're gonna spook them. Well, that didn't exactly go to plan. However, I still don't see any evidence of the lion I expected to be here, but a couple of 1-star youngs. They lived to be 16, and we saw him as an adult. There's no way that we've passed 10 years here on Tikamoon Plains yet, so we have to be looking at the wrong ones. But everything matches up. I gotta say though, we're not finding any sign of a 4-star lion anywhere. So the next thing we're gonna do, and it won't be in this video because until we get to that point, it's going to be a while, but we're just gonna set it to lion drink time and check all the ponds in that area. I have been curious because so many animals on Tikamoon Plains live to be so old, and there was a change for things like Kodiak bears and black bears that live to be 20, 30 plus years old. And it kind of changed how they age. So I wonder if things on Tikamoon could age more quickly. And it's something I would like to do. You know, start with like a 1-star young lion and count the years as it ages up. But we'll see. Maybe they've already ended up dying of old age. Maybe they're somewhere on our map still. In the meantime, we still have plenty of things to check on, so we're going to keep on moving. And you know, this is another one. We've got a bunch of packs of hyenas all over our map, and nothing even remotely special, a few 3-stars here and there, but for the most part, it's just 1-star after 1-star, so why don't we, as we lose breath, try to take one of those? I think we actually still got it. So just another little bonus kill, and hopefully, kind of helping out with our hyena genetics. That was a 15%. There's nothing to identify with them, it's just kind of hoping for the best. If you shoot a 1-star adult, no doubt, eventually we'll shoot one that's good genetic potential, but in that case it worked. Well, I am officially confused. I spent the last probably 30 minutes buzzing around the UTV, actually checking for the lion drink zones. I totally forgot they'd have a later drink time, and we hit that time, 7 p.m., and just kind of drove all around, trying to figure that out. In the process, what I did was check on the only few animals that also age to be quite old that I knew would be the same. It's a couple of albino Cape Buffalo that we had eyes on. They are both still adults. There's no way a 3-star adult lion has aged all the way up to 16 years old, from 6, that's the peak age of adult, and died already. And our Cape Buffalo haven't gone from adult to mature, so they're out there. I don't know where they are. I can't find them. But they're out there somewhere, and I guess that is going to be probably the subject of the next video if we haven't found them by then, because I really don't want to lose something like that. Lions need to be 488 to make 5-star, and I don't know, a 3-star adult is probably not guaranteed. We saw, seemingly, what was a 3-star adult Kudu die of old age before getting to 5-star, so it may not be there, but if it is one big enough to get to 5-star, I absolutely do not want to lose it, so that'll be the plan. In the meantime, it is almost dark, but we do have a 5-star Kudu that did make it to place in our trophy lodge. Now, because of the current kind of lion situation, I rested to 7:15 a.m. It's a little lighter, and it's still enough to see a couple of cool things. Number one, the 488 Kudu, that was our first one that we shot with a bow. He is notably bigger here in the lodge, you can really see it, and lighter horns. Like, if we walk up here a little bit closer, The new one from today has such darker horn coloration, and I think maybe he's a little bit kind of grayer, like in terms of the fur, which is really good. I love to see that kind of variation when it comes to mounts like this, because when you have 3 that look exactly the same, it just doesn't give that same kind of feel, but you really feel that it's going to be 3 unique Kudu when we get to that point. But I'm still unsure about the situation with the lions. I'm fairly confident, at least, because of the albino Cape Buffalo not even being mature yet. They have to be out there. They got to be on this map, and maybe we just found the wrong zones to begin with. So that'll be something to focus on, and hopefully in the process, we can find future 5-stars, whether it's Black Wildebeest, whether it is the lions, maybe another Kudu to complete that mount. We shall see next time we step foot on Tikamoon Plains. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.